This is the podcast, not an interview. This is a conversation. No gimmicks, just reasons. 84 reasons. Come holler at me. What up, everybody? I am Being Truth. This is 84 Reasons. No games, no gimmicks. I do my best to try to bring y'all the best guest possible, but this next guest, man, please, I'm going to do my best to try to introduce this man the right way. Charlotte, North Carolina, Mecklenburg County, for those of you who don't know. Shout out to my son, BJ, who's in Charlotte right now. Mr. I Gotta Go. Mr. A Win is a Win. Listen, where's 4-5? Because, 4-5, 1999, that's his birthday. We go get into that, Mr. Damn mother left me on red when I asked what number I wanted. Went from 6'6", 200 pounds to finally got on that scale after Coach Savage. We're going to get into Saints Valentine. There's just a lot to get to. My next guest, listen, one of the tight ends at the University of Florida, so I got nothing but love for him, the great Clifford Taylor IV. What's going on with you, Clifford?
Man, that gave me chills, man. So, man, I appreciate it, man. I'm old, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
Clifford, most of the time when we hear the walk-on story, right? Most of the time we don't hear the story. We just hope, because people think all walk-ons gonna end up like Baker Mayfield. He gonna go on to be the first Heisman winner. But most of the time, you guys are full-fledged students. Like, look, man, dude, I'm a student. Like, I'm in class every day because I came to school to get an education. But then, when I'm out there on the court averaging 20 and 10, I heard from a wise, I average 20 and 10. So I'm out here dominating. But then I'm out here in the flag football league and just dominating. 6'6" stands out anywhere. Definitely. But then these two walk-ons come up to you and say, hey, man, you ever thought about walking on? Like, what is that like? Like, it's one thing for your family to say it, your friends to say it, but these guys, they got on the Florida gear looks different. Like, the stuff you buy and the stuff they give you, it ain't the same thing, right? Man, so you was like, hey, dude, that ain't at the Florida bookstore right there. I ain't never seen that in the shop. What happens when they come up to you and say, hey, man, being a fellow walk-on, we think you got something?
For me, really, man, it was just almost like too good to be true. Like, is this a joke? Like, is this kind of just a way to like bribe me in and kind of like, haze me in a way? So when it first happened, I was like, I feel like I didn't even really have that good of a game when they reached out to me. But I mean, when you have 4 or 5 touchdowns to anyone, that's a good game. So they were pretty much just giving me the rundown. And yeah, at that point, man, I just pretty much let it go through one ear and out the other. So I was like, all right, well, like you're not gonna believe what happened, man. It's like these guys asked me about walking on. And so the stars, man, they just aligned, man. And so like I was thinking about it for like a few days. And so that week led up to when LSU. When LSU comes in town, big game blues. It's always a good game. And we end up beating them. That's when they had Burrow, Jamar, Justin, and all that. So we beat them on B Stu's pick 6. So like one thing I like to do, even when I was in the student section, sometimes I'll just kind of like sit there and I'll just be like, can you believe this? Like, can you believe we're here? Like, we were just in Charlotte like a year ago and now we're here. So when it all happened, I just kind of like looked around and I was just like, I want to run out and have them, scream for us, scream for me. So it was one of those things where I was like, you know what? You only live once, if it happens, amazing. If not, I can at least say that I tried. So from that moment, I just, I was like, okay, cool. Like, let's get it going. So I went to that Marshalls on Archer down there. I got me fortunately, they had some size 14 cleats for like $30. And so went there and then, and I think I got some cutters or Reeboks gloves. And I just went, straight to work. Had no game plan. I was just like, all right, I'm going to just start working on agility, endurance, hit the gym every day. And, whatever happens, happens. And so fortunately, like as time went on during that whole process, I got in contact with a trainer down there in Gainesville. So I started training with him, best $20 a sessions that I would ever spend at that time. And so at that point, they kept it real low key too. Like nowadays, it's like pretty public. It's like, hey, like walk on meeting today. But like in the Mullen era, it was very, well, at least in the beginning, it was very low key. So got in contact with Vernell Brown, and we were chopping it up back and forth, and I would always see him doing his little walk, and so I would always see him. I was already cool with some of the players at that point. Like I was cool with KP, I was cool with Trey. I was kind of cool with Felipe a little bit, and like you said, height stands out. So they all thought I was a hooper, so I was like, I'm not, but I mean, I'll take it. So February 2019 rolls around, and we had like the meeting, and it was only like, it's crazy because it was only like 9 of us at that meeting. Like when people reach out to me now, they're like, man, this thing had like 80, 90 people. I'm like, man, to say lucky is putting it lightly. So had the meeting, had to get all your paperwork in like literally 24 hours. You know how they like to rush it and try to like get you to, get it going. So I was able to get it. And then then we go to tryouts, and it was only like 4 of us. And I was just like, this is it. And so it was during this thing called the dead period. I had no idea what that was. So I was ready, to hit the jug machine. Like I had my gloves. I think I had a sleeve on that day too, if I remember. Like I was ready to go. And so they were like, oh, no, we're just gonna do like agility and conditioning, which is music to my ears, because basketball, like that's
y'all run all day. Y'all basketball players, y'all hear where we got to run. You go, that's it. Like, you got like 20. Major Wright, may he rest in peace. This is the Major Wright that played basketball, not Major Wright that played football.
Yeah.
Greatest hit in national championship history,
yeah.
By the way. When Major came over with us, I guess he had a year of eligibility left. So when he came over with us, they were trying to decide he's gonna play tight end and defensive end. I said, well, hell, I'm the third tight end. So you might want to go to the defensive side because I'm trying my best to play. When it's time for us to run, he's running, looking at us like, y'all boys tired? Like, because he just came over there from Billy Donovan, who was the basketball coach at the time. But I wanna ask you this though. People hear about Kyle Pitts, unicorn. This boy, I don't know where he come. He went to the tight end, and there was a tight end pool. Everybody, all the tight ends got invited to the pool. Me, you, all of us. We all got our feet in. We in the shallow end, and all of a sudden the guy yells, "Cannonball!" It's Kyle. This is Kyle's pool. This boy, he got everything. But you had a conversation with him when it came time to, hey man, I want to do this. Who do I talk? What was that conversation like? Because people can't separate the person from the superstar. They can't. They think that he's like this all the time. What was that conversation like talking to him about, hey man, how do I go about this process?
Honestly, it was one of those things where I didn't really think about it too hard, because we were chopping it up at I think it was like a little house party, and we had pretty much pulled up at the same time. And I was like, yo, man, Kay, I was like, can I talk to you for a second? Just like real quick. I don't want to interrupt your flow. But I was like, yo, man, I was like, do you have any like contact so people I can reach out to about like trying to do this? And he was like, you dead serious? And I was like, yeah, man, I'm dead serious. And he's like, it's a word. So he gave me VB, John Clark at the time. He gave me like all those contacts, and I was like, bro, man, I appreciate it. And so from that point on, I confidently said, I was like, yeah, I'll see you soon. I'll see you soon. And so, when it happened, he was like, oh, snap, you here? And I was like, bro, I told you I wasn't joking. I told you I wasn't joking. But yeah, man, Kyle, I know freshman Kyle. You know what I'm saying? Like wide receiver, tight end, back and forth, make a decision, Kyle. So I knew him from like the beginning of his time in Florida, and that was a blessing in disguise. And so, yeah, he's always been like a big little brother. I'm a year older than him, but man, like he took me under his wing, because like I said, like the first like year, it was like kind of like it was like accelerated learning. Because I tell you, man, like when you're looking at, those bunch rights, those trios, those I was like, I don't know trips, but I know I'm tripping because I don't understand what this is. It's like, man, it's like, what? Like, this looks like some cheat codes off of like Grand Theft Auto. I'm like, what am I looking at? And I got a crazy story. So, it was like my first meeting with the team, and so it was like in the summer. We were having summer workouts and all that. And so KG, Maury Gamble, I think he had come in and he had just put twists in his hair. So Coach Scott had said something funny, and I'm like sitting in the back. So I start laughing, like just trying to fit in. And he looks at me and he goes, "What the F is funny?"
He hit you with the new guy. He hit you with the. Yeah. So everybody's laughing, and he heard that distinctive laugh and turned.
Yeah.
It was like,
yeah.
Like, yo, I thought it was funny, bro.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. So which it was, but yeah, man, that really, I got my feet wet. And I'm like, man, this is kind of scary, my man. So So yeah, man. I to say I was scared the first like few weeks in, man, is putting it lightly, bro. But like, I got another crazy story. So keep in mind, I had never seen these plays in my life. It's day one of training camp, and so I think they did this on purpose because we became cool later on. But I think they did this on purpose. So we had an install quiz. And so I'm looking at it and I'm like, I know what a fade is. Okay, fade. I know what skinny post. Okay, line. I'm assuming line right. So I just did it straight. And I'm like, oh wait, this ain't gonna be that bad. And then I turn that page and it's like 48 crunch, 14. I'm like, oh, what is this? Crunch? Crunch. And I was like, wait, what is this, man? So first page, I thought I'm killing it. And then the second page, I'm like, I'm about to fail. And so they put our scores at the top. Pitts, 100. Gamble, 100. Zip, 90. Crow, 100. Walk-ons, 80s, 70s. And then you got me at the bottom. That thing said 37. I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God. So man, from that point on, I was like, hey yo, Julian, who was our G at the time, like, Julian, I'm like, I hope you know from this point on, I'm gonna be like bugging you to death, bro. Cause I'm not just trying to be here just to say I'm here. I want to at least like know my role, do my role on this team and help this team, however I can. So had a terrible quiz that first day. The next day I had like a 90. Then it was straight hundreds. Like he was showing me the signals and I was, man, like, I know Coach Mike's gonna kill me for saying this now, but like we were supposed to stay in the team hotels. I was literally sleeping some days in the tight end room, just like trying to, I knew I wasn't gonna be no starter, but I was like, the least I can do is understand and get the respect of the guys in here. Cause you know what I'm saying? Like this stuff is earned. It ain't just given. I'm not gonna be in there and be like, hey, my name is Clifford. Nice to meet you. It's like, nah, man, like, you gotta earn that. So yeah, I think later on, like I earned the respect of those guys, and I was kind of upset. I was really upset when Coach Scott left, when he went to go get a head coaching job at Howard, because I'm like, yo, like this is my senior year, this is my chance to show that I understand and we can like build that rapport. But then when Coach Brew came in, Coach Brewster, for some reason, everything was just so much easier. Everything was so much easier. I would go and practice with a little more like swag in my step. Mm-hmm. I was able to like to joke with him, Coach Mullen and Julian. He'd be like, hey, and I'd be like, bet. Like I'm telling y'all, for those watching now, football is a lot more fun when you know the playbook. It's a lot more fun. Like we would have like after like scout periods, I ain't gonna lie, my senior year, I was cooking them boys in the scout period. I was turning up, but then we would have like good on good at the end, and they would always let me rock with them. So I was like, okay, yeah, now now it's real. So yeah, man, it was definitely a learning curve, but man, I learned so much along the way, and it taught me so much about my career now, just about like work ethic, learn beyond what is informed, what is taught, and Coach Scott taught me that more than anything. He taught me like, okay, you might know your route, but you got to understand everything. Why are you running this route? Why receivers are running certain routes? And I kind of take that approach with everything now. So I'm greatly appreciated for Florida, more than they will ever know, I think.
Oh yeah, you went through what I went through, what a lot of players go through. We learn what we have, and the coach is trying to get you to learn the concept. Like, look, you got to learn the concept of a play, not just what you have. Because if you learn the concept, now they call us, you direct the traffic. You know how like before, the people don't see this, but you may have a guy, he come out the wrong way. The quarterback don't take him. Somebody get a boy, you on the other side. That's us saying, look, because coaches say, listen, man, quarterback got a lot on his mind. He got to call the personnel. He got to call the play. He got to call the protection. He got to see who hot. The last thing he need to do is get y'all lined up. So my coach would say, do what he meant to say. I know he said left, but it's on the right. But this is what I really want to know, though. Kyle Pitts conversation. You talk about the conversation with the walk-ons. You talk about the conversation with your family, your friends. You finally make the squad, and the old boy say, yeah, man, but your schedule crazy. Like, you can't even – what is that like telling your academic advisor, listen, I love you, right? Man, I got to get this stuff. Ain't no more after 2 o'clock. I love you. And I get it. The great thing about college is, for those who don't know, it ain't like high school, the way you got class after class after class. No, you can pick them, but right. These professors, man, they ain't early morning people. They want the 3:30s, 5 o'clock Tight. So they come in with their swimming gear on, they fishing gear on. What was that like getting your schedule to coincide, with adjusting to being an athlete?
Honestly, like getting my schedule adjusted, it really wasn't with the advisor, it really wasn't as bad because when I kind of told them what was going on, they're like, really? And I was like, yeah, like I'm gonna need them like the 9 o'clocks to about 2:30 at the latest. I was more so scared to tell like, my family because it's like, I come from a family where it's like, they were always like pretty strict on me. Like I'm an only child and things like that. So I was one of those kids, like I was a nerd in high school, man. Like I was a nerd. Like I used to be pissed when I brought home a B plus, you know what I'm saying? So they had told me, they were like, yeah, like you can do this. I was like, if anything, you just got to take one class in the summer and you're good. So I'm like, oh man, so I got to graduate technically late. So I didn't know how my fam was going to take that. And so when I told my dad, I was like, yo, dad, I'm like, yo, man, I'm like, so it looks like I might just graduate like a couple months like later if that's cool. He's like, hell yeah, that's cool.
No, this is what you didn't get. You like, listen, dad, listen. I mean, I'm gonna be playing for Florida, so I'm gonna give you that. Wait. Hold on, because see, the thing is, listen, when people talk about a different route, when people talk about you didn't even play football. Like I'm a hooper. No, I look like what I am. I'm 6'6", about 190. I'm a hooper, bro. Like I look like a hooper. I am a hooper. But when you get to college, your friends play everything. Hey, look, man, we gonna just sign your name for this flag football too, because we need you out here. We need some size. No. We need some athleticism. We need, when you walk out there, people go, who the hell is that? That's Clifford. Oh, hell no. Y'all got LeBron out here, and we out here 5'9", 5'10". But then what happens is, it's like I said, you keep on hearing the same conversation. You got to walk. I don't, listen, you might have to talk to your friend. There might be scouts underneath all this. Is where do you walk-on dudes come from Florida? Hey, man, we got this dude that can hoop, but he out here scoring 4 and 5. Then you going to say, I ain't even have the best game. I had 4 and 5 touchdowns, but I done had games. I done had 8, 9 of them. You know what I'm saying? They ain't come to the one that I was really cooking. But this is the thing though about you, Clifford. Though, this is what I appreciate about you. You keep it 100. You say, no, man, I'm gonna tell you about me. I'm gonna tell you every single thing that happened. Most people only tell you the end goal. Like I'm gonna tell you when I got to this. But I'm reading up about you, man, and I say, okay, he wore 4 or 5. I get it. I heard that he wanted 14 and 34 Crow. He moves on. The pit, he don't get it. 34, that's what he want high school. Call Dan Mullen. He don't say nothing. But then it's picture day. Oh. And the numbers that I wanted were still available. And I'm looking at the roster going, hey, bro, they ain't even got me on this roster. Man, tell people how serious numbers, because people see a D tackle wearing number 2. They see big dads now. That's the smallest 2-1. The 2-1 ain't small. The body is just big.
Big.
But tell people how serious it is. Guys coming in, yeah, I'm the number 1, whatever in the nation. Coach, if I don't get number 6, I'm not coming. What do you mean? I've been number 6 my whole life. And he weighs 360. He said, but dude, you play over the tackle. I want 6. You wanted, honestly, the 14 to 34, you end up with 4 5. Like, how did that whole process come about?
So basically, like this is, like I'm just new, so I'm just excited to talk to anybody. So I remember we had like this little app called Teamworks where they give us like updates on workouts, schedules, and things like that. And so they had said something about like newcomers, like requesting new numbers, like, but they didn't necessarily say text Coach Mullen, but it was just like talk to EQ. And so I think that day they had just posted like a roster with the numbers, and I'm like, okay, yeah, Trent, freshman Jamarcus, yeah, man. Where? I see one Taylor, but that's Jawan Taylor. So where the second one at? So I went to EQ and I was like, I think I gotta go over here and ask y'all for a number. And they was like, okay, yeah, we'll take care of you. And then they actually told me they suggest reaching out to Coach Mullen. And I was like, that didn't sound very like realistic, but I was like, I'll do it anyway. So I was looking, I was like, okay, let's see. All the 80s are gone. Dang. Because I wanted to get like an 82, like in the 80s. I was like, any number you give me in the 80s, I'm chilling. So I was like, okay. I was like, all the 80s are gone. Ooh, 14. Okay. 34, only on defense. Cool. All right. And then like a bunch of 40s. So I text Coach Mullen, I'm like, look, I'm like, I know Big Luke is switching to 7, so 14's around. So I was like, you got that on 34, because 34 was my high school number. And sure enough, red. And then I think like the next day, EQ was like, yo, come in here. We got some options for you. And it was like 32, 39. No, actually, no, my homeboy had 39. 32 was like 41, 42, 45, and 49 or something like that. So I was like, I'm like, I don't mean to be spoiled, but damn, these options suck.
I go from want to be on the squad to y'all giving me the worst options ever for my position.
Yeah, because and like, see, I'm still like low key in high school mode. Because in high school, I was like one of the guys, so I got to pick like before anyone. So and like I said, Shaquille O'Neal was my guy. So like, let me get 34. Yes. So I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, man, these options suck. but I was like, you know what? 4 or 5, birthday, 3, 4, and then 4, 5. Okay, 4 or 5. So I got 4 or 5, and then we got on. When it really kicked in was when they unveiled the new locker room, and everybody was so excited. Everybody's trying to find their locker, and I'm like, okay, where's mine at? I was looking for like 5 minutes. I'm like, where that? And then it was literally right in front of me, and I was like, yo. And it was one of those surreal moments. I sent it to like all my friends, and then we had media day. They put on the biggest pads they could find and put it on me, man. Like you could tell I was still like, like 220, maybe just cracking 230. I mean, you could tell, bro. And they had me doing the most goofy, like they had me doing one of these, like they had me do. Look, I had no, and I'm wearing my cleats and my socks like a hooper. It was like,
they got you wearing the white tube socks, man.
Man, they put me in some scrunch crew socks, and I was just like, okay, man. But yeah, nonetheless, man, I like media day was fun. Like I had some solid ones. I wish I had some gear on, but like,
that's nice. So see now, yeah, the screaming one, like the ones they do, like you got the screaming one, you got the one they got you throwing the ball up. Like to me, I don't know if the equipment people do this. I don't know if the video people. They should just ask, hey man, what kind of pose? Everybody, the new pose now is people jumping up in the air with like the ball in between. That's the new pose. Yeah. I said, but look, man, we came out the womb with swag, man. You just tell me what you want me to do, like, and I can do it because. Well, this is what it really is. The reason why they ain't gonna let Clifford Taylor pick because some superstar didn't get to pick that. They're gonna say, man, I saw the picture of Cliff, right? Why ain't y'all give me that? It's picture envy. Because football players, man, we listen, underneath it all, ego and pride is what runs us. But at the same time, it's real now though. Hey, the equipment, hey, Cliff, you got to come in here, man, to get your pick. Right? Because you got the thing, it goes from get my schedule right. Hey, Kyle, you think I could do this? Got paying $20 for these sessions. It's really happy learning this playbook to now, hey man, pick a number. Why? But then I see this pick. You talking about a pick. So, I dreamt of running out in the smoke. I ain't never get around in the smoke. Never. I see this pick with the orange bowl. I see this 4-5 front. And the thing is, right, what lasts forever is pictures. These things, because every picture has a story behind it, and the story only gonna get better and better as you get older. But I see this 4-5 jumping up in the air. And somebody went, you got them, these photographers, they got like 3,900 pictures per second. Man, what was listen? You in Miami?
This one, yeah.
And you know what's crazy? That's what lasts forever. Let me tell y'all something. Around the University of Florida, they got all these pictures of old SEC championships, Orange Bowl. You want to be in pictures, as many pictures as possible with the team photographer, because you don't know what they're gonna put up in the facility. Because the next thing you know, you walk around, they go, hey Cliff, man, yeah, man, that's when we played the Orange Bowl. Yeah, that was a real good game. Because people don't know. People don't remember the minutia of it. They don't know. But man, that's a moment. It's one thing to take a team photo, your individual photo. Man, what is it like, man? I mean, I heard your mom is the reason why you photogenic.
Oh yeah. So my mom, my mom was a model, back in the day. My grandma, she was a model, she was a singer and all that. So, from the time I was a kid, man, like just anytime I saw a big old circle in my face, like Like, we got a home video. So I think I was like 5 or 6, and we still talk about this to this day. So I think it was around Christmas time. And so I think my dad was playing a trick on me. So he held the donut. He was holding the donut like this, because like it was like a Krispy Kreme donut. I don't know if he did it on purpose or not, but I looked up and I was like, cheese. And so yeah, for like literally from that moment, I was just always photogenic, and my mom tells me to smile a little more, because she's like, it's like you look so like just serious on like in your photos now. And I'm just like, Mom, I'm just doing what they told me to do. I'm just doing what they told me to do. But yeah, nah, man, I'd be lying if I ain't tell you, like, man, during them warm-ups, during them running out the tongue. Boy, when I tell you, I was celebrating, but I was looking for them things.
Yeah, because they're everywhere. It's like, number one, obviously the Florida photography people, the staff, they got on Florida stuff, but it's cameras everywhere, and these lenses be like 3 feet long, and look, for people that be thinking, man, you want to get one of them cameras that's right there. You hope it's the TV broadcast, and you try not to self promote, but let me tell y'all something. This is what because that's forever. Like we start looking at the sound bites when you go back to these games, but there was 0% chance, Cliff, that you wasn't gonna be one of the first ones running out of that tunnel. It's like this. You got Cliff, man, move. I'm trying to get to the front. Move on out the way, man, because what it is there is a different energy. When you run out, there's a reason why you run out, then they do the national anthem. Because you ain't got no energy left.
Yeah.
If you had to run out there and run right on the field for kickoff, well, you're gonna be you out of, because that's the epitome of, man, we doing it, man. Like, no, we doing it, because once you got on that orange and blue, there is no walk-ons anymore. There is no we doing it. Like, we out here. Plus, your mama like, that's mine, right? You see him? This boy went to Florida because it was his dream school and was balling so much. And man, now I'm in here with Krull and Gamble, and you know what I'm saying? I don't know if Keon Zipper and them boys were there, but I know. But I would be remiss if I didn't say this. The greatest thing you said that I saw was you talked about having self-doubt. You said, man, I doubted myself, because this stuff moves really, really quickly. There is no warm-up period. Once you say, I play a Florida Pirum, this thing just goes. Spoke to your mom, and that was cool. But then you spoke to Van Jefferson.
Yeah.
I don't know what that conversation was, man, but to me, sometimes you realize why you play with certain people. You be like, hey, Van, man, for those who don't know Van, Dad played a long time in the NFL. Dad's NFL wide receivers coach. Van, wait a minute. Whoa. You was with the Rams when Van won the freaking Super Bowl. Man, get out. I just realized. Wait. Van wins the Super Bowl. You on that staff. Van literally is having a baby. He got to say, hey, Daddy got to go. Isn't it crazy that the one that told you, not only, I don't know what the conversation was, but I know it was like, well, you could be here. Yeah, I see you out there every day. And no one knows you're a walk-on we do, but no one knows you're a walk-on when you out there. There is no walk-on jersey that's a different color, blue and orange.
Right.
But what was that conversation like to have a player who coming from a lot of pressure with what his dad has done, trying to live up to these things, didn't start out in Florida.
Right.
In. What was that conversation with Van Jefferson telling you, man, I see you every day? What was that conversation like to give you that confidence to keep going?
Man, I mean, that conversation was everything, really. So like that week, man, I was just like struggling mentally, like a lot of stuff was just going on in my mind at that time. So so I was calling my mom, and I was just kind of like, at that point, I was just having like some self-doubt. I was just kind of sitting in like one of the spots in the hotel, and I was just kind of sitting there, alone. And then like the receivers, they walk in, and then like Van kind of drops by, and he's like, yo, you good? And I was like, yeah, I'm good. But it's just like, man, like this, I'm saying, I don't know if I belong here. I don't know if I was like meant to do all this. And then he was just talking to me, and he was like, bro, and he was like, I know you. He's like, I've seen you play damn near every scout position this year. I've seen you just kind of get thrown in the fire, and back in June. And we were just chopping it up, and he was like, bro, and he was just telling me, he was like, bro, you're one of like the most like understood, quiet, humble walk-ons here. And he was like, it's hard to, and he's like, and then he goes, plus you're 6'6", so it's hard to miss it.
Yeah, it's not like you're gonna hide anyway.
Yeah. So I was like, man, I appreciate that. And I was just like, bro, it's like, what can I do? Because like you about to go to the league. And he was just like, bro, he's like, just stay 10 toes down, stay the course. You know, it don't matter what outsiders say, let alone some of these other cats say. It's like you're here because you're here for a reason. It's no accident. And those words right there, he's like, it's no accident. And then he said, you know what I'm saying, that man above, he might not be there when you want him, but he's always on time. And I was like, man. And it was the night before the Orange Bowl. So I was like, man. So I just kind of sat in my room, prayed about it, and I was just like, you know what? We're gonna enjoy it. We're gonna enjoy this Orange Bowl. We're gonna win this Orange, because we all knew we was gonna win. We all knew we was gonna win.
Sorry, Virginia, but you know, great.
Yeah, great. Yeah, y'all finally
beat it. It was really orange and blue versus orange and blue that
literally. So, but we all just kind of knew, it's like, man, we're gonna win this thing. And so, you know, we even chopped it up before the Orange Bowl. We was in the locker room. I was like, man, you ready? He's like, I'm ready. You ready? I'm like, yeah, yeah. So like, let's do it. So then we won the Orange Bowl and we was chopping it up. Like Van was just one of those dudes, man. Like he was always just like cool with me, always humble with me, and told me how it was, you know, from the jump. And then like, man, it's just like to later on, you know, reunite with him in a way in LA of all places, and just see him win a Super Bowl, and you know, see him get that first touchdown of the season. Is just like, man, this is just like, it's crazy. It's crazy. And so he actually spoiled the job for me. So like when I was applying for the role and I had my final interview, he like texted me. He's like, hey man, congrats. And I was like, I just came back from Wendy's. What you mean? he's like, congrats, man. And so about 2 or 3 minutes later, I get a call and then they offered me the role. And I was like, oh snap, that's what he was telling me about. And so, you know, when I got there, he was one of the first guys I saw, and then like to see him win a Super Bowl, like that whole experience was just like too good to be true. It was just too good to be true.
I mean, it's no coincidence to me that, you know, good things happen to good people, man, but great things happen to the great ones. And then everybody ain't gonna get that second one. Most of us gonna get good things. Great things, it requires a little bit more, man. Van Jefferson, what I was most proud of him of, man, that boy went to the Senior Bowl, and he told them DBs, don't take it personal. Hurt his foot or whatever in the combine, still went second round. But that's what people won't know about Van Jefferson, what you just told us. Yeah, man, we understand he's a legacy player because of his pops, but he cares about people. And I guarantee you they told him, hey, man, don't tell C. Clifford, man, that's my boy, man. What you mean? You just met him. I know him. I'm telling you, better call him before I call him. Because, number one, we need each other for that. See, the X's and O's taken, we need each other for the things that nobody sees. So when Van go, boy, you all right? You go, yeah, no. I know you, Cliff. You ain't all right. You don't answer me like that. And to me, that's the thing about football that goes unnoticed. There is no way we can put on the front being around each other that much. We know everything about each other. We know what each other like to eat, drink, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. But I gotta say this, man, about you, Cliff. The thing about you is no one would ever know you had a bad day if they see you on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, you know, walk-on gang. I mean, embracing that walk-on role the way you do, and like you said, what you learned in Florida, you apply it, you know, to when you LA, you know, Golden State, wherever you are. Without that experience, if you just go to the University of Florida, never play football, do you end up in LA? Are you at the Super Bowl and the freaking finals championship within the same year?
No chance. No chance. And that's why, like, you know, I'm sure they're probably tired of me, but I gas Florida up as much as I can, because what the unfair thing about this economy and this society is this, like, you know, when you're in college and you're an athlete and you start applying for corporate jobs, when they see that you were like a D1 athlete, it could be at Florida or, you know, our little brother, Florida State. It could be anywhere, like Texas, Arizona State. Like, if they see you play football, that's a green light. And it's just like, oh, like, you really? Like, and we always just get, as unfair as it is, we just get more opportunities. And so I had always heard that like during my time there, but I didn't believe it until it started happening. Like when I initially got my opportunity with I had an internship, like a 6-week program with Wilson, and I was a talent and influencer specialist. So basically I was just doing research on like, current athletes, how they could be a part of like the Wilson brand and things like that. And so it was like a 6-week program. We presented it to the Wilson board and everything. And then they told me that they had connects with the Rams. And I was like, I don't think I'm gonna get the job because I don't think I'm qualified, but I'll certainly take any shout out I can get. So it's really connections, connections, connections. And like I said in an article before, there is no Rams, there's no NBA, there's no social media following now without the Gators. I would have just probably just been a graphic designer at a firm right now, which I would have been happy with, at the same time. But when opportunities like this come knocking, you just can't ignore them. You just can't ignore. And as unfair as it is, it's just like, look, man, sometimes you just gotta, self-care sometimes is the best care, and sometimes you just gotta like, just roll with it. And so, like I said, there's no way I'm doing what I'm doing now without those 2 years that I spent wearing number 45 for the Gators. No chance.
Listen, the voice you guys can hear right now is Clifford Taylor IV. He is from Charlotte, North Carolina, Mecklenburg County. For those of you who know about the city, it is more than just Cam Newton and the Panthers and the Hornets. Even though Michael Jordan might be selling the Hornets, that's a whole nother conversation. Mr. I gotta go. Mr. A win is a win. But before I let Clifford out of here, Clifford says something that I dealt with way back when I was at Florida. There's this thing in the swamp called the student section, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's these things called stairs. This is the thing that y'all don't see. Florida stairs go straight up. No, not kind of up. They go, we used to call them tap tap, because that's they listen to your feet going tap, tap, tap. And if you get to that last one and you don't touch that wall, you're going to hear Coach Savage. Coach Savage probably said, hey, it didn't count, but there was this, listen, the 14th day of February is called Valentine's Day.
Man.
In Florida, they call it Saints Valentine's Day.
Saints.
Listen, but Cliff, before I let you out of here, even though, listen, Coach Savage loved you when you was at Florida, man. I mean, did a hell of a job. Yeah. Let's tell them about this Saints Valentine's Day. For those who don't know, that the off season, for most people clapping, the off season in college, you have serious doubts about playing football because it ain't for the weak, man. It ain't for the weak.
Yeah. All I'm saying is, let's just say you were to join the team on February 13th. You'd be gone by February 15th. You'd want to leave. You would want to leave. Man, that was, to this day, hands down, the hardest 60 minutes of my entire life. I mean, it was literally just going, just like max upper body, max lower body, max warm up, max conditioning. And you conclude it all running, I think it was like 2 flights of stairs in the stadium, not on the alumni side, on the student section side. So it goes like straight up to the sky. And so, you're running up this thing and you're like, bro, okay, just get through this and I'm good. But it's like, the later it got on, it's like, bro, the closer I get, the closer I'm about to quit. And so, man, I've never seen grown men like have tears going down their eyes like that. And so this is when I knew it was real. So like we walked in the facility and they had it all decorated with like pink and black balloons. They gave us t-shirts. I'm like, oh, this is about to be terrible. That's when I knew this was about to be terrible. So when we're in there, man, my back almost gave out. And then so we do those last set of stadiums and the shirts that we got, about half of them chucked them out the stadium because they're like, man, that shirt, man.
Of course.
Yeah, man. I mean, I kept mine because I'm like, man, it's like,
I'm gonna need it for memory. I'm gonna need it for validation reasons later on in life. Just in case I see Coach Savage one day walking in the supermarket and I'm like, man, what the hell wrong with you, man? Like seriously, who comes up with this?
Yeah, like prayers up to them boys. I think where is he at? Ole Miss now. Prayers up to them. Prayers up to them, man. It's funny because one of my good friends, he just transferred to Utah. His name's Miles Battle, and I text him. I'm like, oh, bro, you have no idea what you just ducked. you have no, like, consider it a blessing, man. Because I'm telling you, like, if one thing's gonna humble you, it is Saint Valentine's Day. Saint Valentine's Day, like that was no joke. I was about to get my phone, get a tripod, and start turning into a YouTuber for real.
Also, listen, no. So hold on. He's the first podcaster, turn podcaster during a workout. Listen, as you can see, all these guys behind me throwing up. I know I got the shirt on. This is I don't do like Cliff. Don't call me Cliff. I'm the artist formerly known. I can't do this because football people in college football, to make it to the fall, you got to survive.
You got
to survive. It is. Listen, football D1 football players do more before 7:30 a.m. in the morning than people do all day. By the time 7:30 comes, if you have, you got to be on the field at 5. You got to be off by 6. You probably in the 6:30 workout group. You get done by 7:30, and you just happen to have an 8 o'clock class, and you doing your best to not fight sleep. You walking in with your professor saying, "What's up, Cliff?" Not today.
Not today.
Listen, no disrespect to you. No disrespect to you. But listen. But you better talk real loud because my eyes and my whole body hurt. Like I'm a 19, 21, 22-year-old man, and my body was supposed to feel like this. My legs are shaking because I can't stop them from shaking.
Yeah.
And I got but at the same time, there's a rite of passage to go from the off season to the summer, to the fall, because you made it. Because most guys, everybody look at each other the same. Listen, you want to leave? I'll leave with you because I can't do this. And ain't nobody gonna be mad at you. Like if you leave in the off season, we're gonna be like, dang man, I wish you would have stayed. But ain't nobody gonna be mad because everybody can't do this. And when I tell you, Coach Savage got that big old, he got that bullfrog in his throat, that super duper deep voice, like you on a microphone all the time.
Yeah, man.
But I will say this, Clifford, man. Number one, man, it was a pleasure having you on, man. I follow you because, to me, you are more the epitome of what college athletics is. It's not, look, ain't nobody gonna be no Kyle Pitts. Y'all gonna get out of here with that. Get out. And you saw him every day. You be like, man, your mom like, Kyle look good. Hell yeah, he look good. I see him every day. And ain't nobody doing that. But no matter what, you had a dream school of the University of Florida while you lived in Charlotte, and it happened. Not only did it happen, man, you go from that to LA, to freaking, Oakland, San Francisco. I don't even know what the hell Golden State is anymore. They used to be in Oakland, not in the Chase Arena. Yeah. Steph, make up your mind, Steph. Tell the freaking ownership to go back to Oakland. They shouldn't have went to San Francisco. But you living your dreams right now, man. You doing it in real time. Yeah. Never having to compromise who you are to do it. All you had to do was go. You had to gain 45 pounds. Probably 55 pounds. Most people have to lose weight. He like, hey, boy, listen, last time I saw you drinking water. Drink some soda or something, man. I need you to come on. You said I got on scale and said 240. I was like, I did
Man,
it.
it was like, man, I'm telling you, bro. Like that first time I saw 240 on it, I was like, let's go. Like I actually got a let me pull this bad boy up real quick. It's like a comparison. And you can it's one of the things where you can clearly tell the difference. Like,
ooh, yeah. That one to the left, it don't even look like you sucking your stomach. That thing, that weight's just small. That weight's just small. Listen, when the weight, when they call it the DB weights, when you got your jersey, coach will be like, man, you better do something about it. Why? Because people gonna think we ain't lifting around here, bro. You a representation of us now. Second time, give me the swag, give me the white sleeve. Showing off the.
Give me everything. Oh yeah.
Cliff, man, listen, do my best. Do me a favor, man. Never stop being you. It's more people watching you than you know. You represent something greater than sports, man. You represent a level of individuality and authenticity that most of us don't know about till later on in life. Most of us think, I got to be this to be that. No, man, if I can't be Clifford, I can't go. If I can't be this, I don't want that because I want the money. I don't want to have to alter who I am to get the money. I want you getting me and listen, I'm going to give you more than what you paid for. Make no mistake about it. You are already getting a bargain no matter what that dollar amount say. But the reason why I don't do TikToks is that I got to compete with you. Not doing it. I said, I don't know how the hell he doing. He started talking to himself. I don't know how to do it. I ain't got, unless my kids show me, I ain't got time. Because they're going to be like, Daddy, your TikToks don't look like Clifford. I know they don't look like Clifford, man. I'm trying to make mine look You know, I'm the 80s babies, man. This boy, I got to college in 2000. This boy was born in 99. So mine is the reflection of 1982. That's what mine is. Mine, Clifford looking at mine like, yeah, them graphics. I'm going to have to call him. I can see it in the corner right there. But at the end of the day, man, I appreciate you being honest. I appreciate the journey it took not to just get to where you at, but stay to where you're. Because sustainability is the hardest one. It ain't getting there. Man, I'm a master at starting stuff. But I'm really, really bad at finishing, man. You finishing it, and every time I see you smiling, walk on game is one of the best clothing lines you ever gonna get, because that's forever. That's a mentality more than just what you did. Look, man, take your time in this life, man. Don't know if you got kids yet. Take your time. But once you get a kid, once you get a kid, Clifford, your life becomes about them. My kids don't care nothing about what I did in sports. They care about the iPhone. They care about the PlayStation. Daddy lame as hell if they can't get the iPhone, whatever. They don't want a iPhone. They want one that just came out. Yeah. I said, you ain't getting a better phone than me. They said, Daddy, you got an Android. I said, say something else about my phone, and it's gonna be you and me. But Clifford, man, listen, man, I appreciate you, man. I'm looking forward to watching you do what you do. And one day, man, we're gonna do this thing in person, man. But I appreciate you taking the time, big time.
Absolutely. And Gator Nation, just to spoil it, I'll see y'all at the spring game. I asked y'all.
Listen. So now the TikTok went from this to that. Everybody gonna be listen, man. I'm trying to do this because y'all stop photo bombing this thing. But listen, enjoy yourself down there, these new facilities and all the stuff that y'all listen. Them boys went from drinking water to now they get smoothies and meet me at the hot tub and meet me at the pool.
It's like, man, come on. They got a uniform display. I'm like, come on.
Listen, they got uniform displays. They saying stuff like, did you put the sea salt on the asparagus? Get the hell out of here, man. Give him something to eat to get the class, man. Y'all spoiled as hell. He is Clifford Taylor. I am being true. This is 84 reasons, no games, no gimmicks. Not my reasons, his reasons. But make the best decision you're gonna make and give us a listen. We out here.